What's going on? Greg here. Now today's video we're going to be talking about the DS, one of my favorite consoles of all time. More specifically, we're going to be talking about DS games that are overrated. Now what do I mean by overrated? Because, you know, overrated, whatever. I'm talking about games that I personally have thought about and have gone back to or have just done the research on and realized these games, they were really big and really popular when the DS came out. They sold really well, but when you look at it nowadays, not that great. And there are reasons why we'll get into later, but we're gonna be talking about overrated games. Now the thing is with the DS, it was around for a very long time, it sold exceptionally well. Pretty much everybody I knew at the time had a DS or multiple DSs. There were a lot of great games on the DS, like so many great games. And there were also a lot of not so great games. Starting off the list strong, we have Nintendogs. That's right, everybody's favorite virtual pet simulator. I mean, how could a game like this be overrated? Look at these little babies, look at the... Ah, stay away! I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I bought way too many of these games. I don't know what it was with these games, but I was hooked. I had the Dachshund one, the Golden Retriever one, the Dalmatian one, whatever the fuck that thing is supposed to be. But still, I was a huge fan of this series. Even though I had my own real-life dog, I found myself wanting to play with my virtual one and grooming it and taking it for walks. So whatever it was, I found the need to just want to invest myself in these games to train my dogs for these best big tournaments. And honestly, this game series inspired or sparked the virtual pet simulators on the Nintendo DS. And there were a lot of them. They had bunnies, horses, the Littlest Pet Shop series was also on the DS. But yeah, I mean, I knew about all these games because I had a younger sister, so yeah, she played those games. Nintendogs, very much responsible for a lot of the shovelware on DS, and that's apparent. But here's the thing, Nintendogs is the second best-selling Nintendo DS game of all time. Let that sink in for a little bit. I mean, to be fair, there were like 7 different versions of the game, but still, to rank that high up on Nintendo DS's catalog of games, it's pretty freaking impressive. And I remember the first time I saw the overall total sales for the Nintendogs series, and I couldn't believe it.
All right, let's see what we got over here. Okay, Mario makes sense. Pokemon, of course. More Pokemon. Yeah. Pokemon. Jesus Christ, Pokemon. What?
In addition to its selling incredibly well, critics also loved the game as it won a 2006 award from PC World in terms of innovation, and it also won a Best Handheld Game that year too. What? I'm not gonna say I didn't love playing Nintendogs, because I did. I really did. But it won an innovation and Best Handheld Game. So maybe our expectations in 2006 were really low because we just really wanted to play with virtual pets, myself included. But yeah, Nintendogs is very overrated. Not sorry that I played the series, because I actually did enjoy it, but very, very overrated. Next, we're gonna be talking about Mario Party DS. Now, I get it, Mario Party, whatever, it's a collection of minigames, right? Well, yeah, I mean, that's the basis. It's a collection of minigames. This Mario Party was the 11th best-selling game for the Nintendo DS, which nothing really to scoff at, because it did sell exceptionally well, considering there were a ton of games for the system. My biggest complaint, though, was that this was marketed as the biggest or the next big Mario Party, which is high praise. That's a grandiose statement to make about a collection of mini games for your handheld device. And that was the draw, that was the appeal. This would be a game that you could play with your friends on a handheld device. The only problem was, really there was no online multiplayer, so kind of limited there. I remember when this game was announced, and my family, my cousins and I, specifically my younger cousins, we were very excited to play this game. We were big Mario Party fans. We loved 2 and 3 a lot, and we wanted to play this game. We all had DSs too, which was a rarity because either one of the cousins didn't have one, I didn't have a handheld. For the first time in a very long time, all of the cousins had a handheld device that we could all play games on. I bought the game. They bought a few copies as well. So we all had copies of the game. We went home to play, and there was no online multiplayer. Instead, what Nintendo had was this download play system, if you guys remember this, where if you had one cartridge of the game, you could put it into one DS system and then have other people go into download play, find the game cartridge, and then remotely play the game with the one cartridge. So there was no multiplayer to speak of, but there was a local multiplayer with one cartridge. So in the first place, we didn't really have to all buy the game, was the biggest annoyance. And then we actually started playing the game using download play, and for some reason we encountered so many weird issues, and it soured the experience for all of us. This was a game that we were looking forward to for a very long time in the sense that we could all play something together. And in reality, it just led to a lot of confusion and misunderstandings, and we all, to this day, remember that being a big disappointment. So I think Mario Party DS is a little overrated. The fact that it was marketed as this next big Mario Party game, when in reality, most people had already felt the Mario Party fatigue at this point and were like, this is just a collection of minigames, whatever. And honestly, this Mario Party in particular felt like just a collection of minigames. It felt like a greatest hits, if you will. Just a bunch of minigames that we've seen before that are good, but they are basically what we've played in the past. It just ended up being, oh, this minigame again, really cool.
Let's see, what do we got? Oh. Alright, well, it's not the worst minigame, I guess. So whatever. Come on. Come on, man. I just played this one.
Okay, yep. I'm done. I'm done playing this game. I can't take it anymore! They just want me to play the Sandman again! Now, I will say the new Mario Party on the Switch is really good, so I highly recommend you check that out. But this one had way too many mini-games where we were just like, could do without it, whatever. Next, we're going to talk about New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. Now, it might be a low blow of me to kind of pick on the best-selling DS game of all time, but it really is overrated. Hear me out, guys. It is an overrated game, I promise. You know, granted, the game did introduce a lot of great new power-ups, and the multiplayer was legitimately a good time. But aside from that, there's really not much going on in this game. It just, to me, felt like a carbon copy of all the other stuff that we've been seeing from the Mario series, from the 2D Mario series. However, there was a nice spin on this one, where there was an incorporation of 2D and 3D, which really did mix things up in a nice way. Now, back in 2006, a lot of people have been craving a new 2D Mario game, and what we got really wasn't anything special, in my opinion. It just felt like more of the same, but since people were just so ready to play a new Mario game, I don't know, it just at the time just was like, this is the best new Mario game, this is awesome, you know? And I totally get it. I loved the game when I first played it, but really like looking back on it, not so much. The fact of the matter is the stages here aren't that memorable. I mean, compared to Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World, like it's just not even in the same ballpark here. And there really wasn't that much innovation here in terms of the platforming. But then again, most of the innovations made were for the 3D, 2D aspect. So I get it. There were changes made, but in terms of the basics, not much was really new or refreshing, I guess, is the best way to put it. Not to mention, a lot of the minigames were recycled from Super Mario Bros. 64 for the DS, which is upsetting, but the ones that are there are good and you can enjoy it, but there definitely is that element of recycled material being present in this game. And despite everything bad that I could say about the game, it is very well designed. I mean, it is a Mario platformer. Of course it's designed well. It's just revisiting it now and seeing what the game really is and what people thought of it at the time, it's a little overrated. I think it's fair to say it is definitely overrated. Controversial pick, I know, but there is an even more controversial one if you can believe it down the road, so don't be mad. Alright, next we're going to talk about everyone's favorite train your brain game, Brain Age. So Brain Age, very similar to Nintendogs, it inspired a lot of shovelware for the DS, like a lot. So it had that going for it. But it was a critical darling, people loved this game, and it sold exceptionally well. Cool. I mean, I bought a copy of the game. I think I bought 2 versions of the game, and I like the game. I mean, I love the Brain Age games. I like would always play them. I never felt like a dumbass. Shit! It was fun. It made me think that I was actually training my brain. The novelty of the whole train your brain every day, play a bunch of mini games related to memory and math and puzzle solving and stuff like that. It's fun. It's a fun time. It's so crazy to think that a collection of Sudoku puzzles and memory games and math puzzles made it the 4th best-selling DS game. The fourth. So behind Nintendogs, but still pretty high up there, if you can believe it. I think the best thing about Brain Age, or any other game that kind of fits its way into that subgenre of gaming, they've kind of transitioned to the mobile platform, which makes sense. I feel like a Brain Age on a phone or a tablet or something of that nature is more of a welcomed game than maybe on your Nintendo DS, where you could be playing, I don't know, The World Ends With You, or Animal Crossing, or Pokemon, or something cool like that. Brain Age, never really had a bad time with Brain Age, because it was like a fun little 30-minute, 20-minute, short interval of time where you just play the game, train your brain, and then you'd stop. So, is it overrated though? Yeah, it is. It's the 4th best-selling game on the DS, and it's just a collection of puzzles and memorization games, which are not bad, but nevertheless, that's what it is. So Brain Age, yeah, a little overrated there. All right, we are here. We are talking about the last one, the last overrated game. It's The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
No! Now here's the thing. Most of my friends know me as the anti-Zelda guy, or the guy who doesn't love Zelda for whatever reason. It's a known fact. Like, I don't love the Zelda games, or at least I don't love all of them. I like Wind Waker quite a bit, I like Majora's Mask, and I love Breath of the Wild. So to say that I don't like any Zelda games is a very misleading thing to say. I do like Zelda games, I just don't love all of them. I think Ocarina of Time is... We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that because I don't want to get burned. We're gonna talk about Phantom Hourglass because this legitimately was an overrated game. I still think it is an overrated game. I mean, to be fair, it is a Zelda game. Whenever a Zelda game is teased or leaked or even uttered, like, people flip. And I get it. It's a beloved series. It really is something special that I don't think I'll ever truly understand like some people do. And that's fine. I know this is a very controversial pick because it is a very well-regarded Zelda game. But the sad truth is that too much praise was given to Hourglass's touchscreen controls. They shouldn't really have been a big factor of the game. They should have just stuck with the traditional button controls. It would have made for a less gimmicky feel. I mean, it was cool. Some of the trajectory stuff that you could do with the stylus and the touchscreen, some of the puzzle stuff, but it would have made more sense to just get rid of it, ditch the whole, oh look, the DS is touchscreen, and just focus on what makes those games great. I'm not saying this is a bad game, I'm saying that the touchscreen controls should have been limited to path drawings, or note-takings, or things of that nature. Not that they should have just gotten rid of it altogether, but they should have focused it more on building the world of Phantom Hourglass, because that is what made it so interesting, but I really didn't feel like there was enough there for me as a player. I didn't get bored like I did in other Zelda games, which I'm not gonna talk about, but no. So if they improved the world, if they built up the scope of the world, and more importantly, added more dungeons? Isn't that like the Zelda capstone? It's like dungeons, puzzles and dungeons. And this one didn't really have a lot of them. The ones that were there, I didn't really particularly find that awesome. Some were cool. There were some that were cool actually, but like as a whole, kind of all right. The scope of the world would have been nice to have improved upon. The dungeon selection or the variety of dungeons would have been great, and some of the touch controls, maybe just do away with them or limit them to the point where you're just doing it every once in a while. I thought the game had great graphics, but aside from that, it really wasn't super special for me. I do appreciate the games, but I don't love all of them, and the ones that I do like are for very specific reasons. Hourglass is probably one that I like because of its look, the overall look and design of the game. The world that they established in that one was pretty damn good, but I really wanted more of it. And it was cool to experience something like this on the DS, on a handheld device. It really was cool, but I just wanted a little more. And I do feel that this game is overrated. So that's gonna do it for today's video. We just talked about some overrated DS games. I hope you guys liked the video. If you wanna see more stuff like this, please let me know. And until next time, I'll see you guys on the next video.